Toastmaster and dear guests. I would like to welcome you all on 316 meeting of the Speakers and Toastmaster Club. I am Toastmaster Pranav and will be Sergeant at Arms in today's meeting. To officially start the meeting, I want you to remind everyone that meeting will be recorded and some of the parts meeting may also be used for promotional material later. In order to have smooth meeting, here are some ground rules we will follow during the course of the meeting. First, please put yourself on mute when you are not speaking. Second, don't interrupt while someone is speaking. If you are ever to move during the meeting, please turn off your camera. Third, please be mindful of addressing sex, religion, and politics during the meeting. Fourth, be attentive throughout the meeting and support and encourage fellow speakers by turning on your camera and warm smileys as well as the claps. You can use the Zoom reaction button to express yourself during the meeting. As you aware, everyone has a mission in life. Similarly, our Toastmaster has one. Our Toastmaster mission is to provide mutually supportive environment to each other, each member of our club to develop their leadership as well as the communication skills, which help their boost their self-confidence and personal growth. So today's topic is the power of subconscious mind. The power of the subconscious mind is quite immense. It controls our thoughts, emotions, behaviors, often without us realizing it. So by tapping the power of the subconscious mind, we can unlock our full potential, overcome limitations, and achieve our goals. So we can harness this power and transform our lives with the right mindset and the tools. So now let me welcome the presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Thank you, Sergeant Arms Toastmaster Pranav. A very good morning to one and all. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you all doing today? How's it going? Are you still subconsciously asleep, or are you using the power of your subconscious mind to wake up and attend this meeting today? Well, before we go further deep into the meeting and talk about today's theme, I introduce you to the different team members that would be helping us conduct in today's meeting. Let me first go over the Toastmaster history. As some of you are the first time guests over here, I see a couple of new guests. So let me give you a brief history about Toastmasters. Toastmasters were started in 1924 by a gentleman called Ralph C. Smedley. Okay, I hope everyone can hear me, right? Just give me some reaction if you can hear me and see me. Perfect. So Toastmasters was started in 1924 by a gentleman called Ralph C. Smedley at YMCA, California. And today, Toastmasters spans across multiple countries with thousands of members. As of Toastmasters website, we have a presence in 190 plus countries, and which is got to be a record of some sort, because the only other thing that has presence in 190 plus countries is mosquitoes. So yes, that has to do something with this. But Speakers Den is also not a club that was born yesterday. It is a club with 10 years of legacy behind it. Speakers Den Toastmasters World started in September 2012. And last September, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary. Today, we are at meeting number 316. And with the bang of this man acting as a gavel, officially announced this meeting open. Now this meeting is officially open. Let's talk about today's theme. But before that, let me ask one question to the audience. Every guest who is attending this meeting for the first time, can you please raise your hand, either by turning on your camera or by using the reaction buttons? All right, I'm still waiting for you. Okay, so let me do something. We have see Rajesh who's attending this meeting for the first time. So now we are going to do a little exercise where we are going to introduce ourselves to the club. And by doing so, we are going to know more about each other. And this is a peer group. So let me ask Rajesh. Rajesh, can you please come on camera if possible? And unmute yourself.
1 minute.
Sure. Meanwhile, Rajesh takes his time. So this is the exercise that every guest will be doing. So please make sure that you have your answer written down for the surprise Viva test. So Rajesh, you have 30 seconds to tell me about yourself. How do you get to know about speakers then Toastmasters? And what are your expectations from today's meeting? And you have 30 seconds. Go.
Okay. Myself, Rajesh. Currently, I'm working at Volvo. I'm a mechanical engineer. So um, now I am going to a phase where I will have to mentor some of the people. I will have to lead a team. So one of the prerequisite, what I feel, is to be more confident, to be able to say talk to the team confidently and create an impression that a leader has to have. So to improve my self-confidence and also this public speaking skill, I thought I will join Toastmasters. So this was suggested by my manager. So on knowing about speakers then, so this is something I tried to Google about what are the Toastmasters club that we have in and around where I stay. So that is how I got to know about Speakers Den.
Perfect. Thank you, Rajesh, for introducing yourself to the club. A warm round of applause for Rajesh and his manager, who is pushing him in the right direction by making sure that he joins the Toastmasters to improve his leadership skills. Toastmasters is an organization where we try to provide a mutually supportive ecosystem so that everyone can overcome their challenges and become a better public speaker, a better leader. Now, moving on towards our next guest, may I please request Tarun to come on camera and introduce himself to the club. Tarun?
Well, thank you very much, Tanmay. In fact, I'm not stranger here. I've joined as a guest earlier as well. So the intention of joining, of course, I'm going to be becoming a member soon. And having said that, the intention of joining this club is it's one of the reason why I wish to join this club is because it's unique in itself. You conduct a lot of one-to-ones and programs which I have not seen in many of the clubs in Toastmaster. And having said that, hybrid model which was one which attracted me towards this club. And the reason why joining Toastmaster, I'm a little bit jittery when I'm speaking impromptu. So trying to improvise on that and collate my thoughts while speaking. So that is one of the reason. And of course, leadership skills, communication, all this I wanted to improve on those. Yeah. So what better place to be than a really active Toastmasters club like Speakers Den. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tarun. Your words means a lot to us. To hear that you have attended our meetings in the past, and I have personally been there, I have met you. And to know that you are now excited to join Speakers Den and would be taking the steps toward the direction, that's good to hear. We will connect after the meeting to help you with any queries.
Yes.
Next, I would like to request Toastmaster Sahana, who is a guest in today's meeting, but a Toastmasters from a different club, to please introduce herself to the club.
Hi, just give me 1 minute.
Sure thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Meanwhile, let me check if Gaurav can unmute himself and come on camera to introduce himself.
Hello. Yeah. 1 second.
Yes, Gaurav. Can you please introduce yourself to the club in 30 seconds or less?
Yeah. Hi. Myself Gaurav. So I'm not new here. I have attended a couple of meetings here. So back then I had some exams and stuff, so I couldn't really attend any meetings here. But now that I'm an intern, so I have lots of free time now. So I'm looking forward to actually join this Toastmaster soon, very soon. And yeah, that's about it.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you very much. And it's good to hear that you have attended this meeting in the past and now you're returning here. So please stay tuned till the end of the meeting to enjoy the meeting to its fullest.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Toastmaster Sahana, good to go.
Hi, yes. Hi, Tanmay. Good morning. A very
Good
good morning to all of you on a Sunday morning. I'm really excited when Tanmay asked me to join if I could take up a role. So I was like, yes, for sure, because I could meet many new people from your club and I heard a lot about your club. So I work as a PHY engineer in Qualcomm, Bangalore. And yeah, so Toastmasters has been a integral part of my life, and it has helped me speak at least to an extent where I don't cringe myself or cringe others out. So I hope that it's the same for all of you, and looking forward to today's meeting.
Thank you, Sahana. Thanks a lot for taking up the role at the last moment, and you have our gratitude for that. Now, moving on, let me take 2 more minutes to check in with our new guest, which I'm seeing for the first time, Vijay. Vijay, would it be possible for you to come on camera and introduce yourself to the club in 30 seconds? Vijay Anandan. All right, Vijay, can you hear me? All right, looks like Vijay is not able to hear me. Then may I request Yamini? Yamini, are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Yamini. Can you please introduce yourself to the club in 30 seconds or less?
Right. So, hi everyone. I'm Yamini. This is my first meeting in Toastmasters. I've known Toastmasters for quite a long time. Like I've seen in my office several meetings happening, but I never went out. Currently, I'm on a career break. I have a 5-year-old and I have 9 years of experience, so that will tell my age. So I'm in that phase where I want to explore to like the leadership skills, and I thought Toastmasters would be a very good platform to begin that journey. So that is about myself.
Thank you, Yamini. And it's good to know that this is your first time you are joining Speakers and Toastmasters. I request you please stay till the end of the meeting to enjoy the meeting to the fullest.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes. Meanwhile, if your 5 years you'll decide to join in, he is also most welcome. So, yeah. Vijay, I guess you have rejoined us. Vijay Anandan, is your audio working perfectly now?
Yes, I rejoined.
Perfect.
Audible?
Yes, you are audible, and it would be great if you would be visible as well. Great. Now I can see Mr. India. Can you please introduce yourself to the club?
I'm a repeated audience here, so I like to collaborate with you.
Vijay, just one thing. I guess your camera has a cover or something because we are not able to see you. There's light, but it's like the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah.
Now?
Yeah, now it's perfect.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. That's all about me.
All right, perfect. Glad to have you here, Vijay. And moving on with our last guest for this introduction round, may I please request Hari Krishnan? Hari Krishnan?
Hi.
Hi.
So,
Can you please...
I already completed my strategic planning level 1. I was a part of Chennai Toastmaster Club last year, and for the last 6-7 months, I haven't been part of Toastmasters. I shifted myself from Chennai to Indiranagar. So my home is at Indiranagar, my work is at Indiranagar. So I thought, why not Toastmaster also at Indiranagar? That's the reason I have come on. So excited to be part of today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Hari Krishnan. Thank you, everyone who have introduced themselves to the club, to introduce yourselves to the members of this club. And now it is time for me to introduce you to the star of the day, the conductor of the day, who will be conducting this meeting like an orchestra. So please join me in welcoming our energetic product manager by profession who loves to paint, dance, and read in her free time. And more than anything, she is a cat lover. None other than our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anushka Anand. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Anushka, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay, for this wonderful introduction. A very good morning to our dear Toastmasters and guests. So as a Toastmaster of the day, I have the pleasure to introduce our theme for today's meeting, and that is the power of subconscious mind. Now I'll start with a brief introduction, which will help you to understand what exactly is subconscious mind. So we have broadly three parts of the mind. One is conscious mind, which needs no introduction as such. Whenever someone says you, hey, use your mind, then whatever mind we use or whatever the analysis we does is done by our conscious mind, which is always in focus mind. So we are well aware of that part of the mind. The next one is our subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind is like our secondary brain. It takes care of a lot of important stuff for us, and it's always working 24/7. Even if we are not aware of it. So even if we are sleeping, right? So just to give you an example, what works it takes care of. The first one is breathing. So breathing, how vital it is, also we don't need to discuss, right? So if you think about it, we don't necessarily think we have to breathe, how we should be breathing, etc. Right? It's all done by our subconscious mind without putting any effort. And we don't even have to be careful that we might forget that we need to breathe, right? Like other important stuff in our life. So hence why this crucial task is given to subconscious mind. And not only that, other vital works that needed for your survival, blood pressure, heartbeats, all are taken care by our subconscious mind. So I believe so far you are convinced that how powerful it already is, right? Because it takes care of a lot of complex tasks. But why learning about it will help us, because not only it takes care of stuff, but it can help us to experiment with this as well. For example, you can focus on your breathing if you want, and you can change the pattern, or you can even experiment with different breathing patterns, right? So it's to some level we can basically experiment and control how it works, and we can basically harness the power of subconscious mind. The third part of it is unconscious mind. It is very deeper thinking or patterns we have about our mind, that is not easily accessible. That is done by the unconscious mind. We won't go very deep into the what unconscious mind does in this meeting. That we will leave for some others theme. But now talking more about subconscious mind. So other than taking care of vital work of our body and our survival, right? It also defines our belief system. It also defines our behavior, our habits, etc. Hence, knowing about it is important. To give you an example, you might have met one people who is very confident when faced any risk, or when faced any difficult situation. They have this internal belief that I can do it. Whereas there might be some people who get fearful whenever there's some unknown situation comes, right? This is also largely driven by how our subconscious mind is conditions. Hence tapping into the power of it will largely change our mind and our behavior, and how we basically encounter every situation in our life. Now before we discuss how we can take control of it, right? That we will discuss in the later part of the meeting. Before that, let me give an introduction of how this Toastmaster meeting is structured for our guest, and also for our new Toastmaster. So this entire meeting will be divided into 3 sections. The first will be the prepared speeches, where our Toastmaster will come and speak about a prepared topic for 5 to 7 minutes. And the second round will be our table topic speeches, where our table topic master will call us out and give us some unknown topic, and we will have to talk 1 or 2 to 3 minutes about that topic. Our third section will be the evaluation round, where our evaluators will help us to and guide us on the feedbacks that we should work on to improve our speeches. And so this is largely about the structure of the meeting. Now with that, I'll hand it over to our general evaluator. So in today's meeting, our general evaluator is Toastmaster Mansi. She is a travel fanatic, a painter by hobby, business analyst by profession. Currently, she is serving as VP of PR at Speakers Den Club. In past, she have also have been a VP of Capital Land Club. So over to you, Toastmaster Mansi, and a huge applaud for her.
Thank you. A huge applaud for you first, Anushka, for giving me such a good and a lovely introduction. I like to start with what is general evaluator. My role is supposed to take care of what went well throughout the meeting, before the meeting, within the meeting, and then produce a report altogether. What we can improve, what can we create a distinctive feature, and what we can still continue to work on. With that, I also have a team known as TAG team. TAG stands for timer, counter, which today will be a listener and an counter, and a grammarian who's going to keep a check over the correct usages and the wrong usages of the grammar. On that note, I would first like to call upon the stage my timer and I think 5-layer engineer and a guest today, Toastmaster Sahana.
Thank you, Toastmaster.
Just a minute, just a minute. You are a coffee lover and a bibliophile and a happy extrovert. That's what I came to know about you. Sahana, over to you. Please explain your role.
Hi, thank you, General Evaluator. A very good morning to all the Toastmasters present here on a warm Sunday morning. So as a timer, I will time the table topic speakers, the formal speeches, and also the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time that I have left using cards. I'll be displaying them on screen. So for table topics, at 1 minute, I'll show the green card. At 1.5 minutes, I'll show the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll show the red card. Similarly, for the prepared speeches, at 5 minutes, green card. At 6 minutes, yellow card. And at 7 minutes, red card. And I'll present my report when called upon by the General Evaluator at the end of the meeting. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahana, for explaining your role. Now, I would like to explain my role as an counter and a listener. A counter is a person who's going to make a note of all the extra noises or some verbal usage which are repeated. For example, you say, okay, okay, or you say, you know. Maybe a so in repeated words or in a language might create a hindrance with what you are trying to convey to your listener. That's one area where we can improve as a good communicator. So I'll be taking a note of each and every speaker's, guest, and the role taker, and what they have spoken or repeatedly mentioned. After that, I'll be producing a report. Also, as a role of listener, what is a listener? Can anyone help me with some of the benefits of listening? Quick, I don't have leverage of time.
A great speaker is the one who is also a good listener.
Correct. And how does this happen? Is it a magic or is it a gift? A good listening skill?
By paying attention, it's a skill.
Correct. So what listening gives us is it creates a connection within the speaker and the listener or the person who is taking the words from you. Listening is one of the form of greatest respect to a person which you can give. So altogether, it's a gift. It needs a lot of attention. at the end of this meeting, I'll also be presenting some of the questions which went or maybe which were spoken about throughout the meeting. And I would like active involvement of each and every participant to answer those questions, just to check your attention span and how well the communicator or the speaker could convey the message. On that note, I would like to call upon the stage our grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Brijesh. Toastmaster Brijesh, please come up on the stage and explain your role.
Thank you, Madam Mansi Toastmaster. And hello, everyone, Toastmaster and guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any misuses of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is pinnacle, which means the most successful point or the culmination. An example of using the word is he reached the pinnacle of his career. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give a word of the day report and grammatically usage report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Brijesh. I would request you to type the word of the day and usage example in the chat box, which will help all of the role takers and the speakers today. On that note, and the great energy from my tag team, I want each and every person in this meeting to have a good smile and a clap and go ahead with the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anushka.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Mansi. So now with this brief introduction, we will go ahead with our first session, that is prepared speeches. So our first speaker is Toastmaster Venkatesh. Our Toastmaster have graduated in BSc in mathematics. Currently, he is preparing for CDS UPSC examination, and in free time, he likes to plant sampling. So Toastmaster Venkatesh. Now for him, the evaluator will be our Toastmaster Tanmay. So Toastmaster Tanmay is an analyst by professor and has been with Toastmasters since 2020. They have taken multiple roles such as VP of PR, President, area, part of the area division and district PR. He is also been the member of District 92 Leadership Development Program. So over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay, to speak more about the purpose and objective of our first speaker.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anushka. May I please request everyone to mute themselves if you are not speaking, so that there is no disturbance before I proceed with the evaluation. Thank you. Today, my target speaker, Toastmaster Venkatesh, is basically trying for level 2 project 1 speech in the dynamic leadership pathway. And the objective of this speech is to understand your leadership style. His primary objective is to identify his leadership style and provide us with some aspect of his primary leadership. He would be evaluated on the basis of multiple factors such as vocal variety, clarity, eye contact, body language, and many more. With this, I wish best of luck to my target speaker, and timer, please note this is a 5 to 7 minute speech. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster Anushka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay. Toastmaster Venkatesh, can you please unmute and speak something?
Am I audible and clear?
Yeah, Toastmaster Tanmay, can you please confirm if you can hear and see?
Yes.
Thank you. So now let's start with the first speech, and the speech title is self-belief. Self-belief. Now over to you, Toastmaster Venkatesh.
Thank you, Anushka. Good morning, everyone, and dear guests. Today, I am going to speak about the topic self-belief. Before moving to the speech, I would like to ask one question. How many of you believe that self-belief is an important factor to achieve anything in life? Thank you. I hope most of one. Self-confidence is a self-confidence. If you believe in yourself, you can do miracles. I will define two circumstances that define self-belief. It was around 5 p.m. at the evening. I was lying on the bed, and all my family members, including my mother, were just gossiping about something with my grandmother. My mother told me, "Go, Venkatesh, could you please bring your clothes which has dried for rooftop?" I said, "Okay, mom." As I going with each step stairs, I reached there. I heard somebody was crying on the ground floor. Immediately, I went to the ground floor. I see, which was the most unexpected incident. I see all the family members were just staring my grandmother. She was lying motionless, like her limbs, hands, eyes were uh, eyes were closed, and she is not able to move her body parts. Then I called an ambulance. Ambulance arrived very quickly. I and mother take her to the nearby hospital. We stayed for 2 days. She was very fine and became became very happily in our home. But this is not the final, and she has not become very fit as well. After few days, she again showing the symptoms of same motionless. Her fingers were not working, legs are not moving, and eyes were closed. Now we moved again to the same hospital, and for 1 year it took from going one hospital to the other hospital so that she was able to cure very healthy, but it does not work at all. Finally, I said to the doctor, after examining all the body parts of my grandmother, I said, "What was the real problem? Could you prescribe some medicines? If she become motionless in our home, I would give these medicines and she will be all right." The doctor said me that it's an old related disease and your grandmother is already 70 years old and we do not have any choice. We took her to our home, but as I cannot see my grandmother lying, simply just not moving. So I myself decided I will give 2 injections so that if she become motionless, I will give 2 injections and then she will be fine. Whenever she will be motionless, I give 2 injections. The first one is known as Zone, which is used to treat bacterial infections. And the second one is Pan IV, which is used to treat gaseous problems. It went whenever in few days or few weeks. I would give these injections to her, but it took 1.5 years. It went like this, giving injections for many months. And finally, after 1.5 years, she was get rid of this disease. Finally, she is now live for 5 years and now she is very fit. She can do her own work. She can, whatever she wants, she can do. And the second circumstances, before moving to the second circumstances, I would like to ask one more question. Have you ever been so much happy about winning the first medal for your school or university? Anyone?
Yes.
Thank you. I always have a dream of winning a medal but I did not get so much of chance to show my abilities in sports. When I reached class 7, I got the opportunity to go for the inter-school competition. I and my friends started working on it. We practiced for 1 hour, and the day has come to go to the inter-school competition. We went there. Due to the nervousness, I could not perform very well. As in Toastmaster initials, I cannot utter a word properly. So I fell there. All my friends and colleagues came to a school with a very sad face. But we did not lose hope. And after again next year, we went there for inter-school competition. We are not able to fetch a medal, but we can win 1 or 2 matches. And with lots of practice for 2 years, now the 3rd year came, we went there. Finally, we are able to fetch a medal for our school. So this is, if you believe in yourself, you can do miracles in your everyday life and helps to overcome most of your obstacles. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Anushka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatesh, for this wonderful speech and the powerful message. Now, going ahead, we will move to second speech. So our second speaker is Toastmaster Pasa, and he is a dentist and have a massive experience on the same. He runs a successful dental practice, and he teach dentistry in Khopali and Bangalore. He has also authored a book called 6 Lines on Lane. So for Toastmaster Pasa, the evaluator will be Toastmaster Chaitanya. She is born and brought up in Bangalore. She has worked in TCS previously, and she has parallelly completed her MCOM and PGD in international businesses. She also have more than 3 years of experience in working as a finance analyst. Obviously, she loves number, and other than that, she also loves reading books and craft work. So over to you, Toastmaster Chaitanya, to talk more about the purpose and objective of the speech.
My target speaker, Dr. Pasha, he's attempting his level 2 P2 speech. And the purpose of the speech is for the speaker to understand the types of persuasive speeches and also to deliver a persuasive speech. The speech title is Power of Passion. I wish my target speaker all the best.
Thank you. Toastmaster Pasa, can you please speak something?
Good morning, everyone. Hi, each and everyone. Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes. Toastmaster Chaitanya, can you please confirm if you can hear properly?
Yes.
Okay. So we will move ahead with the speech, and the title is Power of Passion. Power of Passion. Over to you, Toastmaster Pasa.
What is brand? What is brand from anybody from audience?
No, Dr. Pasha, can you please repeat? What is?
Can't hear the word, Dr. Pasha.
You are not audible, Toastmaster Pasa.
Toastmaster, can we try with Toastmaster Pasha to rejoin, and we can restart the timing? Toastmaster Pasha, can you please reconnect into the audio? I think there are some challenges in the audio. Can you please rejoining once?
Yes, sir. Now I am audible.
No, yeah, now you are audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Timer, can you please start it from the top again? Okay, over to you, Dr. Pasha.
So, what is brand? Anybody from audience? The passion we put out into the world is brand. Our brand is our real treasure. It is our ultimate wealth. So from where this brand comes. So good morning, one and all. Let's dive deep into my personal story of how I built my brand, how I am building my brand. So my parents want me to become a doctor, but my passion was to become a teacher. Whenever I see the blackboard, my teacher inside me go directly to the blackboard, take a piece of chalk and start explaining. When I was in college, I used to take tuitions to students. So I have an insatiable interest and passion for teaching. The problem arose after completing my BDS. My parents wanted me to practice clinical practice, but I wanted to go for lecturer job. So I cried before my parents. Finally, I convinced my parents, so they finally agreed. So I applied in 15 colleges for a lecturer job. So I interviewed, but failed. So I felt to do post-graduation so that I can get a lecturer job easily. So I gave my MDS entrance test. I got a good ranking. I got a choice of my branch. But that year, due to some fee hike and some changes in ComEdK entrance, all those things, I could not pursue my post-graduation. So finally, I decided to go abroad for lecturership. So I came here to Mumbai. So in Mumbai, I gave several interviews to Saudi, Malaysia, all those things. In all interviews, failed, didn't succeed. So finally, I have to put into my passion. As a temporary, I defeated. So in Mumbai, I started my clinical practice. So after initially, I was enjoying my practice. My patients, clients were this overflow is very good. I was making huge amount of money. I was solving papers problem. I was happy. But after practicing dentistry for several years, I was frustrated. I was depressed. To describe in one way, I had lots of pain because of overwork. To put it bluntly, I didn't like my job. So to add to this pain, so in 2018, one event has happened. The saddest and unfortunate event has happened in my life. That is the unfortunate and sudden death of my beloved brother, Mola Sabir, who was in Saudi. But he was rock bottom to my education after my father's death in early childhood. So I got feeling guilty to myself. So I thought of, I was suffering from that spiritual pain, physical pain, emotional pain. I thought of ending my life, like that situation has happened. So as I was pondering, so again, the passion secretly was following, I don't know. That passion from inside from my subconscious mind, it said, Pasha, teach. Pasha, teach. So I started my own dental academy in Khopoli. Students, fresh dentists started to come. I started to help fresh dentists. So after that, to attract students to this thing, that same students, same doctors suggested me to author a book. So I authored a book, and that book I delegated to my expert brother, my beloved brother, who was passed away. So that book is doing no good in all these things. So see that passion, I didn't follow my passion. I don't know. My passion was secretly following me through years. So I was not in touch with my passion for at least for 18 years. After opening my clinical practice, I was not in touch with my passion, but it was secretly following me. That is our passion. That same passion helped me to become an author. And that same, after becoming author, my network in dentistry has grown. So experienced dentist and well-established dentist came to me to learn under me. I started delegating my work which I hate most. Then after that, I started multiple clinics. I appointed different doctors in different clinics. I became a dental entrepreneur. See, the final message is, see, what we follow is not our passion. What follows us is our passion. So passion has an ultimate treasure. It is an ultimate power. So that brand comes from where? The brand comes from our passion. See, our brand increases our popularity. Popularity is power. But which is the root cause here? Root cause is our passion. If you want to build your personal branding, if you want to grow to pinnacle, to reach to pinnacle, if you want to get to achieve a greater heights, you just have an intense feeling that I had an intense feeling of teaching. So over to you. Thank you thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pasa, for this wonderful and inspiring speech that encourages us also to follow the passion we have in our life. And from here, we will briefly catch up on the power of subconscious mind that we were talking about. And I think Dr. Pasha also mentioned briefly about it in his speech, how he actually harnessed the power of it to follow his passion in life. So, so far we have discussed that it takes care a lot of important work for us, right? For example, taking daily breath, for example, right? So now the point is, how do we, if it is so powerful, right? How can we use it? And more importantly, because it runs in automated mode, right? How we can take control of it. So the good news is all the belief and the behavior that is controlled by the subconscious mind, right? That builds from the input that we provide via our conscious mind to the subconscious mind. And how this input process works is when we repeatedly think about something or we repeatedly speak something to ourselves, that basically goes into our subconscious mind, and over time it basically settles down into the subconscious mind and builds our belief system and our own self-esteem and self-reflections. So now, since we can control the input part, the good news is, what if we are talking positively to ourselves, then all the positive behavior and all the positive beliefs that get established in the subconscious mind. But the bad news is it cannot filter out between positive and negative itself. So if we keep repeating negative talks to ourselves, then the same things will reflect in our subconscious brain as well, right? The same difference is that once you are encountered with a new situation, which might be scary or threatening, if you have trained your subconscious mind with the positive affirmations that I can do it, it's I'll basically try. Whenever I face a new situation, I'll try to give my best. If we train our subconscious mind affirmatively, then it will respond in those new situations and it will help and guide us. event to solve some of the problems that we were not aware that we can solve, right? But on the contrary side, if we keep talking negative stuff to ourselves, if we keep demeaning ourselves that no, I cannot do this, it's a very scary situation, then our subconscious mind will reflect the same thing, and unknowingly we will have similar thoughts of negativity if we are faced with a new situation. So it's very important that we are conscious of what input we are providing, what our thoughts and beliefs are, which will eventually build up. So and this is not something new, this is a scientific terms for subconscious mind. But if you see in all, even in our religion, some people call it prayer, which is basically that positive affirmation, a way or tool of the positive affirmation that we can prime our subconscious mind with. In the prayers, we always say positive things, right? Our elders have also taught us to always say positive things. Don't ever say negative things to ourselves. All of these learnings eventually comes to training our subconscious mind in the longer term. So if we are aware of it, and if we keep training our subconscious mind, we can harness the power, unlimited power of it, and then we will be limitless. So with that learning in mind, we can let's move to our next session, and let's try to give our best. And our next session will be the table topic session, and our table topic master for the day is TM Visar. So he is a strategy consultant and is currently associated with the Big Four consultancy firms. He is one of the newest member of Speakers Den Club. He loves to participate in running events like half marathon, and he is a travel enthusiast. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Anushka, for this beautiful introduction and this topic of the theme, right, which you have already set, and it's fantastic. Now, coming to this particular segment, the toast, this is my favorite. This is table topic volunteer. Oh, is it? Okay. Let me try.
Yeah, it's breaking.
Okay, I have changed the Wi-Fi network. Let me know if it is working fine. Okay.
Fine.
Thank you so much. So this is my favorite segment, dear guests, and all our Toastmasters members. This is table topic segment. I would encourage all our guests to volunteer and participate. Let's make most of the time you are here by participating in this impromptu session. The timing, as our timer has already mentioned, it's 1 minute to 2 minutes, and then there is a grace period of 30 seconds. But I would highly encourage all our members to try crossing the 1 minute mark by explaining about the topic, why you think what you are thinking. And you can volunteer by just raising your hands, either through emoticons or just raising your hand in the video. So that's how you will operate, and I'll ask you to come on board, and it will be a simple task, just 1 minute crossing the mark by speaking on the topic. So with that, I would open this session, and I would request volunteers to raise your hand so that I can give you the first topic for this table topic segment. Let me know if we have any volunteers. Let's make most of the time interesting. Okay, so we have Dr. Pasa raising his hand. Okay, and GE. Okay, fine. So Dr. Pasa, here's the topic for you.
Yes, sir.
The child in you, Toastmasters Pasha.
My child in me is my subconscious mind, my spirit. Since I am born till now, I always listen to my child, my subconscious mind, my spirit, because it has guided me till here. I reached my career pinnacle. I reached my professional and family pinnacle because of guidance through my subconscious mind. That child, it is a child. Because whatever as a child, we childlike faith, childlike belief, childlike emotions, without more stressing on this thing, facts, details, analysis. I have been taking all these decisions, taking risks, taking bold decisions, listening to my inner child. My inner child guided me to great success. No, I am at peace. I am happy because see, the antidote for our inner child is our conscious mind, our adult. It always asks for analysis, facts, details, and it asks for some clarity. It's okay. In sometimes, some situation, there is some point of in time, we have to take a decision. We have to take our this thing on the basis of clarity. Clarity is power. But my most of decisions, 80% of my decisions, I trusted my inner child. It helped me to follow my passion. It helped me to follow my purpose. So even I am is a child only. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pasha. Let's give a round of applause for him. And I must say, Toastmaster Pasha, had us during his speech segment when he started with the first sentence, and all the audience were like, okay, let's figure out and let's help him, right? So it was the child in us which was inquisitive when Dr. Pasha started his speech as well. Okay, now next volunteer, I know Madam General Evaluator Toastmaster Mansi volunteered for that. So Toastmaster Mansi, are you ready to take up the next topic? Okay. Toastmaster Mansi, for you the topic is living in present moment. Living in present moment, Toastmaster Mansi.
Present moment. That was my question to start. So I'll start with a story. I was actually traveling to my office, and I'm a person who tends to think a lot. What will happen next? What am I going to do? And what is my task list today? So in that moment, I took my keys, all the checklist, my laptop, my laptop bag, what will I need in my office? That's going in my head. But when I'm closing the door, I smashed my finger. Because I am somewhere else, but right now, I'm not in the moment. That's where I realized being in the moment is how much important. Second incident, every time I'm driving, I have anxiety with the traffic. So what I try to do is beat it with music. Now, I am a music freak, and even if it is maybe at pinnacle of any of my situation, I always go for music to come down, calm, be grounded. That's where I realized 1 to 2 times I'm not even on my earphones, just driving and enjoying the music. And I would actually, there's a man who's crossing the road and he had to just run away, and fortunately, he didn't hit me or I didn't hit him. I'll never agree that it was my fault. So being in the moment is always, always important. And being present here makes you more attentive and helpful in your career. Thanks a lot. Over to you, Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi, for this wonderful take on the topic. I can see Toastmaster Sahana raising her hand. Toastmaster Sahara, you would be the next participant for this. Could you?
Yes, please. Can someone time me? Would that be okay?
So let me time you, Toastmaster Sahana. I'll be changing my background as soon as the color switches, right?
That would be great. Thank you so much.
You want to switch on your video camera as well?
Yes, give me a minute. I'm just adding Mansi's report. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here. Yes.
Sure. So Toastmaster Sahana, the topic for you is, are dreams real thoughts? Are dreams real thoughts? Toastmaster Sahana.
Dreams are the dreams. When we dream something, it's an entirely new world that we enter in our sleep. Consciously or subconsciously, I've realized multiple times that what I'm thinking in the real life is what I'm projecting onto my dreams. For example, so this is a TMI. I have fear of birds. If a bird comes anywhere in 1 meter radius, like with me, I'll have panic attacks and I'll probably stop breathing for certain minutes. So I have noticed that this fear of birds is propagated towards my dreams as well. And my dreams have turned into nightmares. There's a recurring nightmare that I get where millions of crows are pecking me to death. It sounds like a very horrible nightmare. I understand that, but so exactly. So my fear has crossed onto as a nightmare. And also sometimes when I dream of something delicious, I'm a big foodie. So when I think of food, I think of yummy masala dosa with ghee trickling on it in my dreams. And also I have seen, I'm also a big time reader. So I once dreamt of Narnia, as if I entered Narnia and I could see the magic. I've gone to Hogwarts, at least in my dreams. I met Harry Potter and my childhood crush and realized, oh, all this was a reality. I would be able to join the Ministry of Magic and help them get rid of Death Eaters. So I do believe that dreams are a part of your reality to some extent. There's something that you want to achieve or something that you want to run away from. They are a part of our world, part of our thoughts, something that our brain is making. It's a master behind it. And yeah, that's my take on it. Thank you for the interesting topic. Table topic master, Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sahana. And with that, I would also hand over the timer card to you. So you take up this going forward. But round of applause for Toastmaster Sahana for a bit difficult topic, but a wonderful take over. You really raised us to the pinnacle in terms of thinking about the Harry Potters and everything, right? So great storyboarding. Okay, I can see Toastmaster Chetna as raising a hand. Toastmaster Chetna, could you please unmute yourself?
Yes.
Okay, so Toastmaster Chetna, the topic for you is crush the self-doubt. Crush the self-doubt, Toastmaster Chetna.
Self-doubt is something, we all have faced at some point in our lives. Like, whenever we are given us some unknown task or a task which is really heinous, we think that, will I be able to do it? Or will it happen? In some situations, we think, I'm going to try this out. Is it going to really happen? But self-doubt is something which always stops us from doing the things we want to do and we want to give our best. So before starting anything or, before trying out something new, it's better to, be positive to your own self and ask yourself I have faced so many things, so why not this? And always have confidence in yourself. Here, I suddenly remember one situation in my life. When I was in my 11th, initially, I had taken science as my subject. Suddenly, when I came to know that science was not for me and it's not something meant for me, I decided to change to commerce. At that point in time, there was so much of self-doubt within me, telling that Would I be able to handle commerce now? Though I referred many books in commerce and then took that decision, I had a self-doubt. Would I be able to take the commerce part, and would I be able to handle that? Because already science I'm not able to handle. And also, I also had a self-doubt about my own capability. Like, what would be the consequence of taking that particular subject? And finally, I overcame it by, speaking to a few of my mentors. At that point in time, one of the mentors was my mom. And also by, giving myself confidence that you have referred books, you have done enough research. And also your mind says that you love it and you love commerce so much, you love numbers so much. So I don't think it would be a problem taking up commerce as your stream. And it doesn't matter. As far as you're passionate about it, you can always change to commerce. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetna. Let's give a round of applause for a wonderful take. And definitely you love commerce. That's quite about the speech. So yeah. Okay. So Toastmaster Tanmay, can you unmute yourself as next volunteer?
Sure.
Okay. And just by chance, do you want to have your video cam on? As well?
Yeah.
No problem. So Toastmaster Tanmay, the topic for you is, and I know the answer for this would be yes in your case, but let it be open. Toastmaster Tanmay, the topic is, can we multitask for real? Can we multitask for real? Toastmaster Tanmay.
Can we multitask for real? This topic suddenly reminds me of a friend who used to tell me all the time that you are multitasking. But the reality is, we cannot multitask. Humans, especially males, are designed to focus on one thing at a time. You give us two things, we will lose focus. As they say, like, you cannot sail in an open ocean with your feet in two boats. You have to focus on one task and make sure that you take that task to the pinnacle of its objective. Because when you start multitasking things, for example, sometimes we have to do that and you see the consequences are far worse. Let's say that you are attending an office meeting and you are working on your phone, watching reels. What happens next is, suddenly they ask a question, you hear your name, but you don't know what the question was. But in the same place, if you would be focused in that one meeting, particularly, you would have better idea about what is going on. And that does not just apply to a meeting, that does apply to every single thing in life. Suppose you are watching TV and a mother is shouting in the background that, did you turn off the cooker after 3 whistles? And you were like, yeah, the referee just gave me 3 whistles. And then you are just going to receive flying chapel. So to avoid such drastic consequences, it is always better to focus all of your attention into one particular task and bring it to perfection. Thank you, and back to you, table topics.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tanmay. Let's have a round of applause for a wonderful take. And definitely, I mean, about multitasking, there is this famous adage, right, that I can listen, ignore, and forget at the same time. So I kind of echo what your thoughts on this topic is, but yeah, I mean, I think everyone has their own opinion. Now coming to our next participant, Toastmaster Anushka. I could see you raising your hand. Could you please unmute yourself? Okay. So Toastmaster Anushka, topic for you is, we become what we believe. We become what we believe. Toastmaster Anushka.
Yeah, I think this is very much in line with our theme of today's meeting. And I think I have been speaking on this for last half an hour at least. So, but on the personal note, I strongly believe that eventually what we believe shape ourselves. And that is eventually decide the direction of our life. So this is a very famous thought that what we do becomes our habit, what we think becomes our thoughts, and eventually becomes us, the entire belief system that we have. So if you think about it, how you define a person it's defined based on what they think, what they say, what they do. This is what defines a person, right? And eventually what we do is also driven by our belief only. Whatever we think is the right thing to do, we try to do that, at least in 100% of the at least in most of the scenario, ignoring when we cheat on our diet days and all. But in general we try to do whatever we believe. So yes, I do believe whatever we think or eventually becomes, and believe eventually becomes us. Thanks, over to you. Back to you, Toastmaster Vishal.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Anushka. Let's have a round of applause for this beautiful take on this topic. I can see Toastmaster Venkatesh Kumar raising his hand. Venkatesh, could you please unmute? Okay. So Venkatesh, for you, the topic is heart versus mind. Heart versus mind. Toastmaster Venkatesh.
Heart versus mind. Okay. Thank you, TTM Vishal, for giving this wonderful title, Heart versus Mind. I have faced so many circumstances in which I have to decide what to choose between our heart or mind. Like I was playing with my friends a cricket match, and it was a bet match. So all of us was very eager to win the match. So initially our players was not performing well. So in that situation, everybody was frustrated what to do. So they have made in 8 overs they have made almost 70 runs. But when our batting came, initially players who went to go to play, they did not take so many runs, and everyone thinking that we are losing the game. And in that scenario I reminded that I have to listen to my mind or heart. But when my batting comes, I listened to my heart, and it gives me so much of confidence. Like it was impossible to win that match, but I performed very excellently and overturned the match from losing to winning. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Venkatesh. You literally take us on your cricket match, as if Harsha Bhosle was speaking as well as playing the same match. But yeah, wonderful take. Let's give a round of applause for Venkatesh. At the same time, I would encourage our guests to definitely participate. I somehow saw Toastmaster Yamini. Yamini, do you want to participate as a next table topic speaker?
Yeah, I think I will give it a try. Yeah.
Sure, Toastmaster Yamini, please try to cross the 1 minute mark by building some story around the topic, right?
Okay.
So Toastmaster Yamini, the topic for you is fear of missing out. Fear of missing out, Toastmaster Yamini.
Okay. So I think when we, as an individual or a person, when we look at our journey, like from being a child to becoming an adult, a child does not have any fear. When we look at a child, all they want is to play, because they don't have any anything to prove to others. So all they are think of is playing and having fun at the moment. But over the course of time, as we become like students, or when we become adults and individuals, that is where really we want to build something for ourselves, and there is a societal pressure also that comes along with it, where the fear factor actually comes into us. So I think as we grow, we progress. Like when we finish the school or when we go to work, one thing is the self-esteem or the factor that we bring in for ourselves, and that is where really the fear comes in. So a person with more self-confidence probably would have lesser fear, because they understand what is the confidence level, where they have what is their strength, and the fear factor will come less. So as an individual, I think it is important to understand that fear is natural, it is common. We all go through phases where we have that fear, but every person has a strength. So understanding that focusing on our strength, focusing on the positive aspects on the progress path will actually help us to move away from the fear and keeps fear at bay. So I think fear is very natural for every one of us as we do different tasks, even daily tasks. But understanding that is a key factor to keep it at bay. So I think, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Yamini. That was a wonderful take. And just when I introduced this topic, yeah, so yeah, you can hear the round of applause is still continuing, right? So that's a wonderful thing. And the fear of missing out is quite abundant in today's era, when we have lots of information everywhere disseminating across. We find it very difficult to find the right information. You take a different take, and nothing wrong. It was a wonderful crafted story about fear and how to overcome it. So amazing, Toastmaster Yamini. Okay, I can see Toastmaster Anjani raising hand. Could you please unmute yourself? And Toastmaster Tarun, you would be the next. Somehow I thought you were celebrating, but I think you are also trying to raise your hand. So next we will take to you, Toastmaster Tarun. But Toastmaster Anjani, could you please unmute yourself? No, it's not unmuted. Toastmaster Anjani, could you please try checking your mic and everything? And let's take Toastmaster Tarun first, and then we will come to you. Toastmaster Tarun, could you please unmute yourself and have your video on? Okay, sure. So Toastmaster Tarun, the topic for you is Art of Gratitude. Art of Gratitude, Toastmaster Tarun.
Well, if I've correctly understood, it's art of gratitude.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. In fact, this is something which I dread for, but then yes, I'll try and see how I can collate my thought on this stuff. Absolutely, gratitude is something one has to have for every occasion, and one has to have that art of gratitude for anything one does, and it's something which I think is most important in one's behavior, attitude. Have to develop those kind of gratitudinal attitude towards anything and everything. People tend to forget the art of gratitude in their pinnacle of their career. Rather, one should have that absolutely, and that shows the value system of an individual. If he's showing that gratitude, you can understand by that what kind of a value system that person has. So with that note, I would say, yes, each one of should have that gratitude in themselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tarun. We could definitely see you have a gratitude mindset. At the same time, you are trying to overcome the fear of impromptu speaking. So that's a wonderful thing to watch and to learn from you.
Thank you very much.
Yep, welcome. Toastmaster Anjani, I can see you have joined back. Could you please unmute and let's figure out if your mic is working? And no, so Toastmaster Engineer, it's not working. Can we have our next volunteer by the time she figures out a mic? Anyone wants to volunteer? I would definitely encourage guests to participate. Toastmaster Rajesh, do you want to participate?
Okay, I will give it a try.
Sure. Toastmaster Rajesh, the topic for you is finding joy in little things. Finding joy in little things, Toastmaster Rakesh.
Okay. Finding joy in little things. I think we are living in a world where we are trying to do different things, and we are trying to what do you say, trying to earn more, or trying to accumulate more things, and try to then find happiness or joy from that. So this is something which is happening in the world now. So this is an unlimited, I would say, not unlimited, it is say there is this is something, yeah, I can say it as an unlimited. There is no limit to what we accumulate, and if we try to find joy in trying to accumulate and then find joy, that it will never end. We will always try to get or try to get better things and more things. So rather than that, it is important that we try to find joy in the smaller things, or whatever we do in our everyday task. Maybe having a good time with your family, playing with your kid, or talking to your spouse, and going for a walk. So these small things that we are missing in today's world. So yeah, it is important we find these things joyful, and we find our happiness in these things. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajesh. Let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Rajesh for this wonderful take. Can we have our last volunteer before we end this table topic segment?
I would like to give it a try.
Sure, Gaurav, do you want to come on video?
Yeah,
Okay, absolutely. So far we have, all our participants have crossed the 1 minute mark. Toastmaster Gaurav, I would believe that you will do the same. So,
yeah,
but no pressure. Topic for you, Toastmaster Gaurav, is, can stress be a good thing? Can stress be a good thing? Toastmaster Gaurav.
Yeah, what I feel is that stress, can it be a good thing? It is a subjective thing. You know, how I would take it is like, when you are doing something, any job, it can be anything, you know, maybe driving, maybe, you know, your job or something. Stress at that moment is a really bad thing. What I mean to say is that stress kind of accumulates a part of your brain, wherein when you have to put your effort into, you know, doing something. If you're driving, you have to put your mind into doing driving. You have to be only doing driving. If you have stress into your mind, that might lead to, you know, anxiety, and it might, you know, you might you know, get into an accident. Or if you are at work and you are really stressful, that will definitely affect your work and things. But on the other hand, how is stress good? You know, let's say there is fire at the place where you work. You really need stress at that moment. That's when your instincts lights up, And stress is something that pushes you faster, and it makes you more alert at that moment. So at that moment, stress is really necessary, as I would say, because if you're really calm at that moment, and if you're, let's say you're slow and happy when there's fire around you, that's not good. Yeah, you'll probably die. So what I would say is stress is something that has to be managed. It shouldn't be like you have no stress, nor it should not be like there is, full of stress in you. So yeah, I would say it's something good and bad, which has to be managed by us. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav, for this intellectual take, and definitely it was wonderful listening to you. So with this, thanks to all our TT segment participants for their wonderful take. It was so amazing to hear all of you, kind of music to my ears. And with this, I would like to hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anushka, to take us ahead in the journey of subconscious mind. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal, for this wonderful, and we really enjoyed all the topics and experiences of all the participants on the different topics you had given. Now, moving ahead, we will move to the third and the last section of the meeting. That is the evaluation section. Here, we will get feedbacks from the evaluators around what we did well, where we can improve on. So for this, I'll hand it over to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Mansi, to lead the section, to lead this section. So over to you, Toastmaster Mansi.
Yeah, Toastmaster Anushka, can we have the speaker evaluation first?
Sure. So for that, we will first go for the first speakers. I'll invite Toastmaster Tanmay. So over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Toastmaster Mansi, the flow goes that Timur hands over to G, and G calls upon the evaluators.
Sure, noted. So, okay, let's do it that way. We'll have the first evaluation by our presiding officer and Toastmaster Tanmay, who is evaluating for Toastmaster Venkatesh. Over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Thank you, General Toastmaster Mansi, for giving me the stage to have this evaluation for Toastmaster Venkatesh, who gave his Label 2 Project 1 speech from Pathway Dynamic Leadership with the objective of understanding his leadership style. Overall, Venkatesh did a great job of giving us a speech full of examples, a confident body language, and a speech about self-belief, which was reflective in his body language as well, that he believed in himself, that he is giving a great speech, and he definitely did that. He talked about multiple stories throughout the speech and the examples that could be relatable to the most of us. For example, the first story where he narrated a personal story and also talked about a placebo effect of sorts, where his grandmother was fallen ill and he was able to cure her with self-belief that she would get better with the help of medical professionals and medicines. And second story about inter-school competition where he went ahead with his friends. These stories really help the audience to connect with the speaker and have that direct conversation by putting themselves one-to-one with the speaker, feeling that they are sitting and directly having a conversation with them. It was not a monologue, it was a dialogue, filled with questions, reactions, and observations. Talking about the nitty-gritties of the entire speech, the speaker maintained a great eye contact with effective and confident body language. The stage presence was impeccable. However, I felt that stage usage could be better. During the entire course of the speech, let's say this is the space and speaker was standing here. He could have utilized this space as well, the surrounding areas. The content was curated with a lot of efforts and it was reflective in the speech. The clarity of the speech was amazing. Everyone was able to follow what Toastmaster Venkatesh was speaking. However, I did felt that the entire speech was a bit monotonous. There could be a more vocal variety to induce some flavor of emotions, which will help the audience to relate. And again, the stories were not continuous in nature. There was a discontinuity in between. Although it was a great speech, but there was one catch. The speech failed to meet the objectives of the speech, to identify your leadership style and to show aspect of your primary leadership. Due to which I have to request Toastmaster Venkatesh to reattempt this speech with some corrections, and I would be helping you with that in a different club or in the same club. Thank you. Back to you.
Tanmay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay, for that detailed analysis of the whole speaker's speech. And now I would like to call upon stage Evaluator 2, Toastmaster Chetna, who is going to evaluate Toastmaster Pasha's speech. Toastmaster Chetna, please go
First,
ahead with your evaluation.
first of all, I would like to congratulate Dr. Pasha for attempting his L2P2 speech in presentation mastery and giving us such a motivational speech. And Dr. Pasha, what I found really marvelous about your speech was how you had powerfully started your speech with brand, and how you connected it with your power of passion. And while you're giving the speech, I found that the sequence of events which you told about your own life and how you had connected to the different events of your life about the power of passion, it was really amazing. And thing was when you had even given the speech, we had a message to take away from that, which is very important while giving a speech. So that part was really amazing. And during the speech, I even found that you had interacted with the audience. You had given you had asked various questions to the audience, and there was a good response as well. Apart from that, I also found that you had maintained an eye contact, and even your hand gestures and your body language was also a good try which you had given. And that's the speech title was justified in your speech, and also you had the speech which you had, the content of the speech was in a sequential order of the events which you had spoken about in your different phases of life. And also you had utilized the stage very well, and the conclusion, and you had also concluded the speech in a very informative manner by telling us what follows us is our passion and not what we follow. So that was a real power takeaway message for us. Now coming to the points of improvement. In the beginning of the speech, there was some network glitches, I guess, and you were not audible in some places, which could be avoided in future. And while giving a speech, I found that there were slight grammatical errors, which you can improve on, which can be done much better in your coming speeches. Thank you. Wish you all the best for your next upcoming speech.
Thank you, Evaluator 2, Toastmaster Chetna, for your lovely analysis and some of the good points which he can inculcate in his next speeches. Now I would like to call upon my tag team, who's been noticing and writing down each and every details of the meeting. Timer, where's the timer? Please come ahead and notify all of us who has broken the time limit, who's been in the time limit.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. So please let me know once my screen is visible to all of you. Is it visible? Okay, so here is my timers report. In today's meeting, all of us were within the time. That's really appreciated. So our prepared speakers took 6 minutes, 34 seconds and 7 minutes, 8 seconds each. All our table topic speakers they crossed the 1 minute time and they did a wonderful job. And their evaluators gave a crisp evaluation within the time limit given to them. So all of us did a great job. This is my report. And back to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Mansi.
Thank you, Timer and Toastmaster Sahana. Now I'd like to go ahead with my role, that is our counter and listener. So first I'll go the negative aspect, which we call it as we think in our mind, but it's not negative. It's just the repetition where we need to improve. So I'll start with Toastmaster Pranav, who took 6 to 7 hours and so were repeated. Toastmaster Tanmay, 5 hours, small hours, and some of the repetitions or other words which you can avoid are conductor or conducting. So you use the same word in a manner that look like it's a repetition. Toastmaster Rajesh, he spoke as a guest about himself. So there were small hours 7 to 8 times. Toastmaster Tarun, 4 times hours, some ohms 2 to 3 times. And there were a repetition of also and then. Then Toastmaster Sahana introduced herself. There were hours, small 4 times. That's it. I couldn't hear any other crutch words or repetitions. Toastmaster Gaurav, he introduced himself and used 3 times, 2 times, so 3 times. And there was a word such like stuff. All these words, maybe you know. So one word here is stuff. It can give a convention of how you are thinking, but you don't have a word. So you're just filling it. So it can be a filler word. So please avoid this word. Then Toastmaster Hari Krishnan was the last one to introduce, where I could see repetition of I most of the time. Please avoid that. T-Mod Anushka, she repeated hours around 17 to 18 times. So I've calculated 19 total. There were long hours, but then when she was speaking, her part on the stage was a longer one and she had to articulate each and everything. So given benefit of doubt, please improve over it. It's not a negative aspect, it's just how you articulate your thoughts. And there were some of the repetitions by T-Mod Anushka, like the, and. That's it. Speaker 1, Venkatesh, there were repetitions of 2 injections and how the whole story went. That's it. Otherwise, the whole speech was very clear. Toastmaster Pasha, 3 times, then so 3 times. That's it. And I could see the repetition of passion and dentist. Toastmaster Vishal, he used in small pauses, I mean, not the pause, but small in between while he was thinking 6 times. Then there was a repetition of so 5 times. Apart from that, there were table topic speakers. So when table topic speaker Dr. Pasha spoke for the first time, he did repeat reached again and again. That's it. Toastmaster Sahana used 3 times. And there were repetition of also. And the new word introduced as repetition was you know. Then Toastmaster Tanmay took 4th table topic speaker and he used twice, which was a very nominal one. And was repeated. Rest, I could see Toastmaster Venkatesh, who took table topic speaker number 6, and there were repetitions of we believe. That's it. Toastmaster Yamini as table topic speaker 7 used 5 times and once so. That's it. Otherwise, the speech was clear. You can avoid like repetition, but that wasn't a hindrance in the speech. Then we had so many table topic speakers. So table topic speaker 8, Toastmaster Tarun used stuff again, which is a kind of a filler word. Is used as 3 times. And there was a repeat of once again and again. Then Toastmaster Rakesh, table topic speaker 9. You used a long R 4 to 5 times, which gives a feeling that you are not sure about the topic. So as a table topic speaker, please first articulate the thoughts and then you can go ahead. That's it. And that's my counter report. With that, I'll give a pause and go ahead with the next role as listener. For that, I need everybody to answer my questions. Let's see the moment of truth. Anybody who can volunteer and go ahead for the first question?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Who's that? Sorry, I can't see your name. Please name.
Myself, Tarun, I'll take that actually.
Okay, Toastmaster Tarun, your question is, how many companies did Dr. Pasha applied for as a lecturer?
I think he said 5 or 6 of them. Not sure.
Quick check.
Yeah, maybe 5.
I think Dr. Pasha, you're the right one. In respect of time, answer the question. Was it 5?
No,
This is the reality
didn't
check.
listen the question, ma'am. No
Sorry?
question. What was the question, ma'am?
How
What was
many
the question?
companies? How many companies you mentioned you applied for as a lecturer?
At least 15, ma'am. 15 colleges I have applied, ma'am. All are failed.
Correct.
Interviewed and failed.
So that goes to say that I was not at the present moment at that time.
Yes. Okay. Second question, who wants to take it? Who was listening throughout the meeting, each and every? Nobody. Toastmaster Gaurav?
Okay, I'll keep it right.
So what are the crucial tasks which our subconscious mind performs, mentioned by our Toastmaster of the day?
One is breathing. Yeah, and I don't know which one is the other. I don't know which is the other one.
Anybody can guess in the audience.
We'll
We'll do the fastest finger first. Type in the chat. One we have breathing. Okay, that's the reality check. Toastmaster of the day, what were the 2 tasks?
Yeah, so the other tasks are related to our blood pressure and heart. So all other tasks related to our body are also taken by subconscious mind.
Yeah, so there were 3 tasks: breathing, heart rate, and
blood pressure.
Blood pressure. Okay. Third question. I have 5 questions for the meeting, so we have to be very quick. We are almost on the verge to end the meeting. Anyone? Toastmaster Rajesh?
Yeah, I can try.
Okay. So okay, you can mention any one of the injections which Venkat's mother had to go through, take throughout her journey of the illness he mentioned. He mentioned 2, anyone, if you there.
The second one was something gastric.
Yeah, I have Tarun here. Fastest finger first. Yeah, gastro. Anyone who wants to go for the first one also? Or else I'll move to the next question.
One was Pen IV.
Yes, so there were 2 injections, Pan IV, and the second one was gastro. We've got that right. Next, that will be the last question. Who's Toastmaster Yamini? You would like to go ahead? Okay, it's open. Let's do the fastest finger first.
Yeah,
Yamini,
sure.
we can test. What are some of the positive affirmations mentioned by Toastmaster Anushka? It's not a viva or interview with.
I think it is positive thoughts actions will become habits, and yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Anybody who overheard it, anything else apart from what Yamini mentioned?
If you think positively, positive things will happen. If you think negative thing will happen.
Yeah, she mentioned some examples also. Can you recollect?
The religious thing, when we pray, we only pray for the good thing for ourselves. And even our elders have taught us the same thing.
Yes. Yeah, I'll take that. Yes. Team or Anushka, anything you want to say? People were listening to you or not listening to you?
Yeah, I think people got the gist. Maybe have missed the detailing, but yeah, overall in the right direction.
So the last question, one more, okay, 5 questions. The last one goes open. Just type in the chat window. What was the passion for Chetna, which was related to her topic as a table topic speaker? So it was a fear turned into passion.
Numbers and commerce, and her inclination towards commerce as a subject.
Type it. Fastest finger. Numbers. I got it from, who was the first one? Numbers from Anushka. Okay. So numbers was the Chetna's fear turned passion. That's it from my end. I would like to call upon on stage my grammarian for today, who is none other than Toastmaster Brijesh. Toastmaster Brijesh, please present your report.
Yeah, thank you, Mansi Mathur. So I will be sharing my screen. My screen is visible. Yeah, so people who use the word of the day, pinnacle. So first name was Dr. Pasa. I reached the pinnacle of my career. And second, Mansi Mathur. Maybe I am pinnacle of my any situations. And Tarun Kumar, in the pinnacle of their career. And one more was there, TM Vishal, but I have not mentioned sentence because I'm not able to get it. So, and coming to that I liked sayings. So first name was Venkatesh, Toastmaster Venkatesh. If you believe in yourself, then you can do miracle. And that I like the most because it is rightly said, if you believe in yourself, then you can do anything which you want to do. And if I'm coming to grammatical improper uses, so I don't found any, because reason is that I am not good grammarian. So that's all from my side. Thank you, Mansi
Thank
Mathur.
you, Toastmaster Brijesh. I want you to repeat one sentence now as a team. Say, I am a very good grammarian. I did a great job. Say it to yourself.
I am a good grammarian and I have done great job.
I did a great job. You are a good grammarian. Thank you for that detailed report. Now I'll quickly move on to our general evaluator report. So a meeting started with a quick delay of till 11:10. So that's one point which I would like to mention. So how I'll do it is mind. I'll do is must do in the meeting, improve in the meeting, nullify totally what we can in the meeting, and distinctively what happened throughout the meeting. Nullify, no technical challenges. Must do, always check the link before the meeting. And if there are any issues, we can very quickly write it on a group or call. each other so that we have a good teamwork and effort and we don't have any delays in the meeting. Must do more of, maybe we should speak about the topic. Somewhere I felt the TTM session went into a bit off in the end of the meeting. It started with the final meeting theme, which was very well chosen, power of subconscious mind. We can also have some good pictorial presentations there. That is some that might engage the audience as a Toastmaster of the day. I'm giving the feedback. Then what we can improve is there was a confusion between the flow. For example, I was supposed to call the evaluator first, but then the exchange didn't happen very well. And the last moment, there was a confusion before starting the meeting of who's the role taker, but we managed it very well. Then there were some people who still couldn't manage. Say Dr. Pasha had some of the technical glitches and could join a bit later. And in middle also, we might have to check the mic before starting every speaker. First, a quick check whether I'm audible, and a good practice which we can follow is we can always say I'm going to give a great speech so that we have a confidence boost altogether. We should nullify all the background noises. Please mute all the time whenever you're not speaking and unmute whenever you would like to speak. But using the hand gestures or just raising up the hand, keep posting the emoticons in the chat window so that the meeting is more fun and a bit of icebreaker among every new guest we have, and it becomes a fun on the Sunday morning. That's it. Some of the distinctive points I have found in the whole meeting was we had a very good session of table topic, which were around 8 to 9 topics. Initially, the topics were very well related and people did participate and did volunteer. So we never had to struggle for each and every participant to be called upon the stage. Evaluators were also very well prepared and they did mention each and every part of their feedback and in a detailed manner. Theme was very well chosen, which I liked. That's it from my end. And I think we've managed to save at least 5 to 6 minutes for our maybe more further conversations. And on that note, I would like to hand the stage over to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anushka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi, for this detailed feedback. These were very insightful, and hopefully we will improve on that on our next meeting. So now with that, I'll like to hand it over to our Toastmaster Tanmay, and for the closing note on the meeting. So over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anushka. And thank you everyone for a wonderful meeting. We are at 1:02, just above 2 minutes above our scheduled time. And as the meeting starts 10 minutes later, I believe we can take a few minutes. We can take some liberty. Today, the meeting started a little late as our General Secretary just mentioned. However, this meeting was one of the amazing meetings that I've attended so far in this year. A great deal of efforts by all of our role takers and some last minute role takers such as Toastmaster Brijesh and Toastmaster Sahana joining us from a Converse Toastmasters Club. A number of guests who have stayed till the end of the meeting and who also participated in the table topics session. Oh, my camera was not on, sorry. A number of guests who have attended us and made this a great meeting indeed. So before I go further about talking about this meeting and closing this meeting, let me ask you, how was your experience of today's meeting? Anyone can unmute themselves and share their experiences. All the guests and Toastmasters are most welcome.
Hi, Tanmay. So I'd like to share my opinion. First of all, thank you all for giving me this opportunity to take a role in your meeting today. I really had a fun time, great theme, and all the role takers were really enthusiastic. It made my Sunday, honestly. and looking forward to coming back for many more meetings. And thanks again.
Definitely, Sana, you are always welcome here. And anytime you are free on a Sunday, you can join us on the same link, 11 to 1. So yeah. Anyone else who would like to go next? You can just unmute yourself. It's a free for all battleground.
I think recording has to be stopped, Tanmay. People don't want to speak about it. They
Off the
might have,
record. Off the
yeah,
record. All right.
they
then
might
let me
have bad
officially-
feedback.
Let me officially close this meeting with the bang of this gavel. Now the meeting number 316 is concluded and done. Let me stop the recording as well. Stop recording.